how do we refute relativism? Let's look at some of the arguments for it and see if they hold up. First, there's the argument from disagreement. People will say that if morality were based on facts, if there were these moral facts, well, then why doesn't everybody agree about moral facts? Why is there so much moral disagreement if morality is objective, if it's based on facts? Well, people disagree about math problems all the time. In fact, if you had an entire class of math students taking a very difficult test and they all got 100%, you might think that they cheated. Just because facts exist doesn't mean that people will always get them right. The fact that people can get math wrong doesn't prove that math is relative. The fact that people can get morality wrong does not prove that morality is relative. Also, moral disagreement is highly overrated because there's many universal moral norms that transcend all societies. Courage is better than cowardice, or you ought to treat others how you would want to be treated. But what about moral dilemmas? Remember the example I gave about the trolley? Or how about the dilemma of being in a lifeboat that's sinking and one person needs to be thrown out? Who do you throw out? The doctor who can cure cancer, the college student, the pregnant woman, the homeless person? People might disagree about what we should do in these moral dilemmas, but that doesn't prove morality is relative. In fact, it proves that it's objective because no one in these dilemmas says, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you pick. No, we all agree that there is a right answer, even if we're not sure how to reach it. So dilemmas, far from proving relativism, actually prove objective morality. And finally, another objection centers on judgmentalism. People will say that if you talk about moral facts, that it's a fact that some things are right and other things are wrong, then you're being judgmental. And now it's true, we shouldn't hypocritically judge others. We shouldn't judge others for doing wrong when we do the exact same thing. We should clean up our house first before we acknowledge our neighbor. But even this objection undermines itself because the claim that judgmentalism is wrong for everyone refutes relativism, which says there are some things that are right for some people and some things that are right for other people. The universal wrongness of being judgmental shows once again that relativism is false. And since we see that relativism is false, this shows we need to find a moral standard through which to judge the world rightly. Because if we don't, terrible things happen. In fact, at the end of the book of Judges in Scripture, the Israelites resort to doing horrible things. They kidnap women to provide brides for a tribe in Israel that had been massacred by their own people. And the last line of Judges, Judges 21:25, sums up how people were living. It said, "In those days, there was no king in Israel. Every man did what was right in his own eyes." That sound like relativism to you?